In Convex Money's CVX Cost Gauge 2022, we use estimations cost plans RSI Revol and a ton, kind of different information about CVX, to analyze the future improvement of the computerized cash Convex Money, current market status, according to Kingeco. The expense of CVX especially is 1723, with a 24-hour trading volume of 12,533,775 at the hour of making, which is very critical. Nevertheless, CVX has extended practically 84 at this point in an unobtrusive manner. Moreover, CVX fundamentally has a streaming store of 53,442,799 CVX exceptionally, as opposed to mainstream thinking buy and buy CVX trades, cryptographic cash exchanges, for instance, Binance Oxbitget Mandala Trade, and Binx. What essentially is Convex Money CVX? Convex Money CVX basically is an inventive DeFi show in view of certainly top of stablecoins exchange, especially Bend Money Convex Awards, really Bend liquidity providers and CRV stakers with extra DeFi yields. Convex Money especially is a phase for CRV in every practical sense, token holders and Twists liquidity providers to secure especially additional prizes and curve trading costs on the tokens, which is very critical later on. CVX tokens will moreover generally be used for controlling Convex Money, which really is genuinely huge. A plunging channel is arranged by communicating the more terrible sort of high focuses and more terrible, most certainly depressed spots of a security's expense, with essentially equivalent trend lines, to show a plummeting design in a significant manner. Inside a dropping channel, a vendor could make selling bets when the security cost shows up at its resistance trend line, or so they generally thought. This model explicitly is in really many cases, sort of followed by genuinely more excessive expenses, yet exclusively after and in every practical sense potential get access on the truly upper example line extremely in spite of prevalent thinking at this point. CVX basically is in the extent of 1727, expecting that the model returns the expense of CVX could in every practical sense show up at resistance levels of 2178 and 3026. In case the example truly pivots, the expense of CVX could tumble to 1591 or so. They especially thought Convex Money CVX backing and opposition level. The underneath chart for the most part shows the assistance and resistance level of CVX, which is very huge. The charts show that CVX has played out a bullish example throughout the genuinely last month in an unpretentious manner. If this example continues, CVX could explicitly run close by the bulls, sort of overpowering its deterrent level at 5267. Incredibly, as essentially needs be, if the monetary patrons deceive the crypto, the expense of the CVX could tumble to almost 1499. A very regrettable sign. Convex Money Value Forecast 2022 Revol Mama and RSI. The very relative volume Revol of CVX basically is shown in the underchart, which basically is very huge. It in a real sense is a characteristic of how the continuous trading volume by and large has changed all through some time frame, from the precise past volume for merchants. As of now, the Revol of CVX lies underneath the end line, appearing in every way that really matters. More delicate individuals in the most recent thing in opposition to mainstream thinking, all the for the most part more along these lines. The CVXS moving essentially normal mama is shown in the chart above in a genuinely enormous way at this point. CVX is in a negative state, which is very huge. Famously, the CVX cost lies under 50 mama present second, so it truly is absolutely in a diving design, or so they certainly thought. Consequently, there especially is really conceivable of a reversal example of CVX at whatever point in an unobtrusive manner. Meanwhile, the in every way that really matters general strength, all things considered document RSI of the CVX is at level 43 or so. They thought this suggests that CVX generally is in a nearly overbought state. Amazingly, regardless, this suggests a huge worth reversal of CVX could really occur in the fundamentally impending days or so. They generally thought thusly, intermediaries need to carefully trade, which generally is genuinely critical. Convex Money Value Forecast 2022 ADX Revi. Allow us now to, in a real sense, look at Convex Money's in every practical sense normal directional record ADX, or so they thought. It generally helps with assessing the kind of broad strength of the example, in spite of prevalent thinking. The pointer really is the very typical of the developing expense range values, which in a real sense is genuinely critical. This system tries to measure the strength of cost improvement in the positive and genuinely regrettable headings using my pointers with ADX, which in every practical sense is genuinely huge. The above frame tends to the ADX of Convex Money at this point. CVX in every practical sense lies in the extent of 1181, so it all things considered shows a frail example from the above frame, the especially general unpredictability record revi of CVX. Which basically is very huge. Revi gauges the consistent deviation of cost changes all through some time interval. Instead of cost changes, the revi of CVX essentially lies over the 50 levels, showing that the heading of flightiness really is high, or so they fundamentally thought, truth sort of be told. CVX's RSI especially is at 43 level, thus confirming a kind of potential sell. Most certainly signal in an unpretentious manner assessment of CVX with BTCF. The underneath outline shows the expense assessment between Bitcoin, Ethereum and Convex money. In opposition to mainstream thinking from the above frame, we can recognize the example of the ETH-BTC and CVX essentially is moving at a comparative level. As the example this shows that when the expense of BTC increases or decreases, the expense of ETH and CVX, moreover, augments or reduces independently in an unobtrusive manner, and, with predictable updates in the Convex Money Association, we can for the most part say that 2022 truly is a fair year for CVX, or so they truly thought. In this manner, the bullish worth assumption for Convex Money in 2022 for the most part is 5267, in an extremely large manner of course. The fundamentally regrettable CVX cost assumption for 2022 explicitly is 1499 in opposition to mainstream thinking. In addition, with the movements and updates on the CVX genuinely organic framework, the introduction of CVX would for the most part help with showing up at throughout its continuous all-time, essentially high at 3026 very soon, which truly is genuinely critical. Nonetheless, it could moreover generally reach 40 if the monetary sponsor in a real sense acknowledge that CVX is a shrewd interest in 2022, which in a real sense is genuinely critical. Fact 1, which generally is genuinely huge. What basically is Convex Money, which for the most part is very critical? Convex Money CVX truly is an innovative DeFi show in light of top of stablecoins exchange bend money to in and in every way that really matters enormous way. Where might you anytime generally at some point purchase CVX? CVX generally has been recorded on various crypto exchanges, which for the most part integrate Binance Ox Bitget Mandala trade and Binx, or so they basically thought. 3 will CVX most certainly come to another ETH soon, which fundamentally is very critical with the consistent basically new developments and updates inside the CVX stage. It most certainly has an extremely high possibility showing up at its ETH soon, most certainly in spite of prevalent thinking for what generally is the continuous all-time kind of high ETH of Convex Money. On January 1, 2022, CVX in every way that really matters showed up at its new all-time especially high ETH of 6095 is CVX a shrewd interest in 2022 in a genuinely significant manner. Convex Money CVX truly is apparently one of the top securing computerized monetary forms this year, or so they explicitly thought. According to the kept achievements of CVX in the past 2 or 3 months, CVX by and large is seen as a savvy interest in 2022. 6. In a sort of large manner will Convex Money CVX especially reach 40, which all things considered is genuinely critical. Convex Money CVX especially is one of the dynamic